Since its inception in 2008, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has provided some of the biggest and best moments in film. But not every Marvel movie is part of the MCU, and the ones that aren't are often terrible. Here's a countdown of the 10 crappiest movies starring Marvel characters, going from best of the worst to the worst of the worst. The third and final installment of Sam Raimi's original Spider-Man trilogy has one thing going for it. It's the least bad of the very worst Marvel movies. Overstuffed with too many characters and plot lines, 2007's Spider-Man 3 also veered straight into camp with some truly weird and hokey scenes. And the best parts are basically just rehashes of better moments from the first two Spider-Man films. Watching this, it's pretty easy to understand why the studio rebooted the franchise. A solo Wolverine movie starring the beloved Hugh Jackman seemed like a no-brainer, and that's exactly what 2009's X-Men Origins Wolverine had: no brains. For instance, the decision to include Deadpool but literally sew his mouth shut so he couldn't make jokes deprived the character of, his only actual purpose for existing. And the rest of the film was even less fun, with an unrelentingly grim and tedious slog through Logan's backstory. This is one of the rare cases where the first entry in the trilogy was by far the worst. Just ask Ryan Reynolds.
Hey, it's me! Don't scratch! Just cleaning up the timelines.
Speaking of movies that just aren't fun, Ang Lee's 2003 examination of Bruce Banner's tortured psyche was kind of the opposite of a summer popcorn movie. Lee's Hulk also featured some very iffy CGI at a time when the technology clearly wasn't ready to do what they needed it to do. Eric Bana did fine in the lead role, but the best thing that can be said for this one is that its failure helped pave the way for Marvel to get the film rights back to the Hulk. Before Chris Evans played Captain America, he was the arrogant yet suave Johnny Storm in the first two installments of the Fantastic Four franchise. So it's just as well that 2007's Rise of the Silver Surfer was such a dud that they never made and released a third film. Otherwise, Evans wouldn't have been able to play Captain America. What was so bad about it? Well, beyond the boring CGI Silver Surfer himself, the movie featured a terrible version of Doctor Doom and an even worse version of Galactus. He should have been even scarier than Thanos, but instead, he was a giant cosmic space fart.
That's gross.
Before Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel hit the scene, the comic book movie world was severely lacking in female-led films. Why? Well, the craptacular 2005 flop Elektra is a big reason. Nominally a spin-off of the 2003 film Daredevil, Elektra featured Jennifer Garner gamely wading through a convoluted and tedious plot about an assassin for hire. It was kind of like John Wick, except really bad in just about every way. It earned a generous 11% critical rating on Rotten Tomatoes and absolutely bombed at the box office, convincing Hollywood for the next decade that fans didn't want to see movies about female superheroes. But we did. We really did. We just wanted those movies to be, good. The 2007 stink bomb Ghost Rider might not even make the top 10 worst Nick Cage films, but it's right up there with the worst Marvel movies ever. How bad is it? Signs point to terrible. Some would argue that the sequel is even worse, but since that never would have existed without this thing, the original still gets lower marks. Thankfully, fans of the Ghost Rider character finally got a decent version when he appeared on the TV series Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Seriously, just watch that instead. Calling the 2015 reboot of Fantastic Four a train wreck is a gross disservice to wrecked trains. Director Josh Trank and the execs at Fox reportedly clashed over the film from day one. They were allegedly so unhappy with what he delivered that the studio commissioned rewrites and reshoots without his involvement. Trank claims they ruined his film, while other reports claimed he was disruptive and erratic on set. The film was such a colossal failure in every way that Disney allegedly fired Trank from a planned Star Wars spin-off based just on what they had heard about Fantastic Four before it was even released. Ouch. Adults today who can recall seeing Howard the Duck when they were kids might be surprised, upon watching it now, just how creepy this movie truly is. And not just for the scene where an anthropomorphic duck has adult relations with Leah Thompson.
Maybe it's not a man you should be looking for.
You think I might find happiness in the animal kingdom, Ducky?
No, there's plenty of other creepy stuff in this one too, which explains why this was such a massive box office disaster. Still, Howard the Duck has its cult followers, which explains why the character has made cameos in MCU films like both Guardians of the Galaxy movies and Avengers Endgame, and why Thompson herself has talked about making a new Howard the Duck movie. What a strange world we live in. Long before Samuel L. Jackson donned the eye patch and played Nick Fury for the MCU, Marvel's top secret agent was played by another famous face, David Hasselhoff. Yes, the Baywatch star and international singing sensation played the lead in the 1998 TV movie Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. It featured incredible lines of dialogue such as this:
"I'll get that vampire's blood if I have to suck it from her neck."
To say this version of Fury was a disaster is an understatement. It earned a dismal 16% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, and the series that the movie was meant to launch never went forward. There's one person who thinks it was good though, David Hasselhoff, who told Movieline in 2012, "I love Sam Jackson, but you know, my Nick Fury was the organic Nick Fury that was written and discussed with Stan Lee before anyone got in there to change it."
Going to learn for the free world.
Here it is, the worst of the worst, 1990s Captain America, which was so bad its theatrical run was canceled before it could ever hit theaters. Starring Matt Salinger, son of reclusive author J.D. Salinger, this cinematic loaf has earned a lowly 7% critic score and a 16% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Why? Well, the production values are non-existent, the Red Skull was switched from German to Italian for no apparent reason, and Captain America, the Sentinel of Liberty himself, twice ditches his friends by pretending to be violently carsick.
Would you please pull over the car? I am going to get sick.
Are you okay? Hold it! No, wait.
All of America thanks you, Chris Evans. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your Marvel movies are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.